All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to crack a little code in English grammar that can be kind of tricky, even for advanced speakers. It's all about the difference between doing something and being something, and it all comes down to the verbs we pick. You know that feeling, right? When you say something and you just know it's not quite right, but you can't put your finger on why? Well, we're about to look at a sentence that sets off that little alarm bell in a native speaker's head. And there it is. I am wanting a new phone. We totally get what it means, but that am wanting part, it just sounds a little clunky, doesn't it? So why is that? The whole secret is in two different types of verbs, and by the end of this, you are gonna be a pro at telling them apart. Okay, first up are the easy ones, activity verbs. I like to call them the action heroes of the grammar world, because, well, they're all about action. So what's the deal with these guys? Simple. They describe something you can actually see happening. It's an action, a process, something someone is physically doing. So we're talking about words like run, walk, eat, cook, play. You get the idea. It's stuff you can literally watch someone do. Super straightforward, right? Now, the cool thing about these action heroes is that they're super flexible. You can use them in the simple tense for a finished action. She read the book. Boom, action's over. But, and this is key, you can also use them with ing to show the action was in progress. She was reading when I called. See, it was happening at that moment. This flexibility is a huge deal, and it's something our other group of verbs just doesn't have. All right, let's talk about the other side of the coin. If we have our action heroes, then we also have what I call the silent states. And these guys, they aren't about doing anything at all. They're all about, well, being. Think of it this way. A state verb is like a background setting. It describes a condition, a feeling, an opinion. You can't watch someone know a fact, right? Or own a house. It's a state they are in. It's not a performance. And this leads us to the number one most important golden rule for state verbs. Ready? You almost never, ever use them in the continuous, ing, tense. That's it. Since they describe a state, not an action, they can't really be in progress. So no ing. Seriously. Aha! And look, we're right back where we started. Now that original sentence makes perfect sense, right? Want is a feeling. It's a state. It's not an action. So saying she is wanting is just wrong. The right way? Simple. She wants a new phone. Okay, to make this stick, let's break these state verbs into a few groups. First up, thoughts and opinions. Everything happening up here in your brain. You wouldn't say, I am knowing the answer. Nah, you just say, I know the answer. It's a state of mind. Next, we've got feelings and emotions. Things like love, hate, want, and need. Now, you might hear people say stuff like, I'm loving this pizza. And yeah, it's super common in casual speech. But if we're being strict with our grammar, love is a state. You just love it. That's your feeling. Okay, category 3 is all about your senses, how things seem, appear, sound, or smell. When you say this music sounds loud, the music isn't doing an action. You're just describing its quality, the state you're perceiving. And our last groove is about position and just existing. Think about the verb have. If you own a car, you have a car. It's a fact, a state. You're not actively having it second by second the way you're having lunch. See the difference? All right, so you're feeling good. You've got the action heroes, you've got the silent states. You think you've got it all figured out, right? Well, English loves a plot twist. Get ready for the shapeshifters. So, what happens when one little verb can be both a state and an activity? This is where it gets really cool. The secret? It's all about the meaning. The word completely changes its job depending on how you use it. Let's check out a few of these. Take, think. If it's your opinion, it's a state. I think you're right. But if you're actively using your brain, that's an action. Hold on, I'm thinking. Same with have. She has blue eyes. That's a state. But I'm having a great time. That's an action, an experience. The whole meaning just flips. Whew, okay, that was a lot, I know. So how do you actually use this in real life without your brain short-circuiting? Let's boil it all down to a super simple takeaway for you. Here it is, your mental checklist. When you're not sure about a verb, just ask yourself these 2 quick questions. 1, is it an action? 2, can I physically watch it happen? If the answer to both of those is no, ding, 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 it's a state verb. And what's the big rule for state verbs? No ing.
So really, this isn't just about passing a grammar test. It's like getting a new filter for how you hear English. Now that you know the secret of doing versus being, I've got a challenge for you. How many of these verbs are you going to notice today? I bet you'll start hearing them everywhere. Go on, give it a listen.